Okay, so I just finished processing Degen Dalt's latest blackjack session, his newest. Uh, I don't know what to call it. I mean, I'm often gobsmacked by these so-called professional gamblers on YouTube, but this guy is something else. Um, I don't think I'm being unreasonable when I say that. Just look at this and look at this. Okay, this is the pass and betting result, and once again he's left me up shit creek because he walks away like all these guys do, walks away a loser. So for me, it's an unresolved skirmish, series, sequence, set, whatever the hell you want to call it, and something that I just wouldn't do myself. But take a look at this too. I mean, why does this guy stick around through this session? It's like a kind of a self-flagellation 101. I mean, all of these guys seem to behave stupidly, deliberately. I mean, I assume deliberately because they don't seem stupid to me. So if they play stupidly, there must be some other reason for that than them actually being stupid, if you get what I'm saying. But I mean, this is just, it's mind-blowing. I mean, the greens are his occasional wins. The reds, obviously, are the losses. This is where he went from there down to minus 24, and he just kept throwing money out. Money, money, money in the toilet. I mean, I haven't even processed his multi-hand bets, but it's just, I don't get it. I really don't understand it, and obviously there's something wrong with my brain. I'm missing something. I'm missing some component that is necessary to be a successful professional gambler, because this is just, to a normal person, I think this is just demonstrative of absolute insanities, sort of just suicide. I don't know where the lad gets his money from, but he must have an awful lot of it, and he must really hate it. So strange. All right, so I'm well aware that with all of my sort of pot shots at the professional gamblers on YouTube, I come across as something of a grumpy old man. But I got to say, I have no idea how else I could possibly respond to some of these things that they put up. I mean, this latest one of DD's Degen Dalt's is just stupefying, and you sort of wonder, how does this help the casinos? The Seminole or whatever it is casino, which is hosting him and giving him a private table and allowing him to film and the whole thing. How do they benefit from what is a sort of an advertisement for really terrible gambling? I mean, do they sort of have some kind of special market research that tells them that, yeah, well, what this does is it encourages people to play because they say, well, I can do better than that fool. I mean, is that how it works? It's just Gordon bloody Bennett. Oh, and look, dealer 22 for the huge sum of 25. And another +1. Yeah, and then the other thing is YouTube flung a Vegas mat thing at me this morning. You know how they do, where it's sort of like, you start to show an interest in something and all of a sudden you're flooded with, and this was a thing from about a month ago where he goes to a blackjack table with 5,000, right? And then bets a minimum of 1,000. So he's got no room to move. And what happened? He lost. and it's sort of like lessons in how not to play, lessons on how to be completely, ridiculously, unbelievably stupid. I just, I mean, I don't get gambling as a spectator sport anyway. So, I'm definitely out of the loop here. Well, not out of the loop. I'm out of step, is what I meant to say. Oh, shitola. Okay, so that's 2, 3, second. Yeah. So we'll try that again. We don't do anything with it. 5, 6, third. Everything comes to he who waits. Okay, so we didn't make much there for 1100, but it was better than 10%. And it's in chips in front of us. It's not, over where the dealer is. +1. I think that was a +1, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Was it? Ooh, maybe not. Dealer 22. Yeah, I've been exploring subtitles, text, AI text, whatever. Quite like it. Largely because I have had a couple of people say they don't understand my accent. I mean, it's the King's English, for goodness sake. I think that might be a repeat. Back to the minimum. See, when I'm nattering, I do lose me thread. +1. +1, still no turbo, you may have noticed. Okay, so that's a repeater at 75. That's a double down. Oops. Double down. Oh, nicely done. Minimum. Don't forget, back to the minimum. Very, very important. I do mention that from time to time, you'll find. Well, that looked like trouble coming, didn't it? It's actually going our way, this shoe, I think. Plus max, your choice. You can go higher if you want. That's my personal ceiling. So that's a repeat. If we get it back, then fine. If we don't, we chase it. Okay, so that's 3, 4. Third. Oh dear. Oh, that was a nice surprise. Okay, so. Yeah, this is our shoe, this one. Degen Dalt needs a shoe like this. Damn, he got his ass kicked. But he just kept bending over. It's unbelievable. I mean, it was like the house advantage, the dealer edge was about 40%. It's supposed to be less than 1%. I mean, don't these guys kind of get a clue and sort of think, well, okay, this is not a good place to be. This is, And, I do have folks saying to me, well, obviously when you move, it doesn't make any difference because you could go from the frying pan into the fire. It's just not true because the norm for these games is pretty gentle, like this one, for instance. And so when you hit an unusually difficult run, just walk away. It doesn't cost you anything, except a bit of shoe leather and a bit of time, but that's all right. Okay, where was I? Okay, so that's got to be a repeat then, isn't it? All right, and now we're on 2, 3, third. Oh, that was fancy. And these kinds of things happen all the time. You all know that. All right, +1. Yeah, when I do these sort of like takedowns or whatever of the pros, I'm now going to just add another session of, this is how it's done if you want to win. And obviously, occasionally, I'm going to be in a situation where I have to run away to baccarat because I've hit a bad stretch in blackjack, and blackjack is definitely more volatile than baccarat, at least most of the time. I mean, you can't make any absolute statements about any of these games because they'll always, sort of like they come up and smack you in the face. But I think is that +1. I guess so. But it's just going backwards, isn't it? I think that's a repeat. Dealer 22. I love it. Okay, back to the min. Always go back to the minimum. I want to do it. I want to do a little song about that. Player 22. Double for the loss. Dealer 22. Repeat. Another dealer 22. More the merrier, I say. That's plus for the push. Hey, where's my dealer 22? If you don't mind. 51. Second. All right, repeat it. All righty. Minimum. Okay, +1. Ooh, player 22 again. 51 second. That's a bugger, isn't it? Double for the push. All right. 2, 3, third, I think. 5, 3. Drop. So the drop has to be 100. Well, we're still going to stick with a 5, 3, I think. I mean, what I usually say is, if the win in the drop is 100 or less, then don't take it off the down. Down being the hole you're in, and out being the value of the next bet. So we're staying at 5, 3. We want to hit that with an 8. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay. Well, that's very pretty up there. Very clever. 5, 3, 8, 6, second. Oh boy. That's a double. Thank goodness for that, huh? All right, so that was good actually. That helped us, didn't it? 8-6. So we got our money back, and we're not doing fantastically, but we're only 11 minutes in here, so we're not doing terribly. +1. Bugger. Double for the push. That's good. Thanks for the min. That definitely doesn't work. Double for the loss. Well, I'm not going to split, am I? Because look up there what it says. It's telling me. Um, and I don't take any notice of that thing up there. It's just a bloody nuisance as far as I'm concerned. Uh, I think that's 51. That's a repeat. That's a double. That's not good. So that's 2-3 second. 2-3 second, 2-3 second. Well, it's already a turnaround, so I don't increase it. Bugger! 5-6. Was that a double down? Oh, I'm not sure. Did I just double down? No, I don't think so. Now I'm going to double down. There we go. I think we're just about at the end of this shoe, don't you? Yep. Well, you can see what we got up there. All right, so we came out with 3,437. Excuse me, in 14 minutes. And I'll just put this up with the Degen Dalt thing. And with all of these things, all I can do is just say to you folks out there, take it or leave it, believe it or not. I mean, any of you who are tempted to say that the Wizards blackjack sim is somehow beatable or predictable or I can manipulate it or whatever, give it a try. Don't give me mouth until you've actually put your time and energy where your mouth is, because it is ridiculous that people think that I can manipulate either of these sims that I use all the time. It's just silly, but there's an awful lot of silly on the YouTube gambling channels, that's for sure. And so I suppose it's reasonable to assume that the people who gather in their hundreds of thousands to watch all these channels have a lot of silly in them too. I mean, let's face it, it's just arithmetic. It's just, sort of logic. So I guess that'll do it for now, and I will catch you later.